So hello, good day everyone. This is Cyril J.D. Bucaling, and today I will present to you my concept paper. So my concept paper entitled Environmental Risk Factors Associated with Ascaris lumbricoides Infection Among Children at Poroctin B, Barangay Maniki, Capalong, Davao del Norte. Ascaris lumbricoides, as we all know, that it is an intestinal roundworm. It is one of the most common helminthic human infections worldwide and highest prevalence in tropical and subtropical regions and areas with inadequately sanitation. Ascariasis occurs in rural areas of the southeastern United States, and Ascaris lumbricoides is the largest intestinal nematode of man. The female worms are more larger than the male worms. The female worms can measure up to 40 centimeter in length and 6 millimeter in diameter. They are white or pink and are tapered at both ends. So I choose this topic because I want to really know what are the risk factors why children become infected with these parasites, and also to share my knowledge to everyone. So for the case overview, according to the US National Library of Medicine, there are 1.5 billion of people infected with Ascaris lumbricoides around the world, especially in tropical and subtropical areas, representing a source of high morbidity and mortality in sub-Saharan Africa, America, China, and East Asia. Additionally, according to the Unknown Journal, it is estimated that more than 1.4 billion of people are infected with Ascaris lumbricoides, and representing 25% of the world population. And as reported by Medscape, the intestinal nematode infections affect one-fourth to one-third of the world's population. Of these, the intestinal roundworm Ascaris lumbricoides is the most common. While the vast majority of these cases are asymptomatic, infected persons may present with pulmonary or potentially severe gastrointestinal complaints. And as stated by World Health Organization, children are infected more often than adults. The most common group are being 3 to 8 years old. The infection is likely be more serious if nutrition is poor, and that is why we need to practice that we give them a proper nourishment to avoid parasitic infections. They often become infected after putting their hands to their mouth after playing in contaminated soil outside, and that is why also we need to practice ourselves as the parents practice their children to wash their hands after playing outside to avoid a um, parasitic infections. And eating uncooked food grown in contaminated soil or irrigated with inadequately treated wastewater is another frequent avenue of infection. And based on the journal Tropical of Pediatrics, more than 2 billion people around the world have soil transmitted helminthiasis, and considered as a neglected tropical diseases that affect mostly the poor and remain as a major public health problem. In the Philippines, children are infected the most, going to poor personal hygiene, frequent outdoor exposure, and other high risk behaviors. And as stated by De Leon 2005, a nationwide study also revealed that 66 of preschool children were infected with the STH, or the soil transmitted helminthiasis. And this study aims to determine the risk factors associated with the parasite, the Ascaris lumbricoides, among children, um, in the Proctin B, Barangay Maniki, Capalong, Davao del Norte. So the study aims to determine the risk factors of Ascaris lumbricoides infections among children of Proctin B, Barangay Maniki, Capalong, Davao del Norte. Specifically, the study aims to answer the following questions. The first one, what are the risk factors associated Ascaris lumbricoides infections among children in the barangay? Second question, what are the practices of the barangay Maniki in terms of associating the infections? And the third one, what is the severity of the Ascaris infections health burden among children in Poroctin B? So before I proceed to the methodology, I will discuss first the research design of this study. The study will be using a cross-sectional research method in this analysis to determine the risk factors associated with Ascaris lumbricoides in Poroctin B children. Furthermore, the prevalence of STH of the soil-transmitted helminthiasis and risk factors among community children are assessed in this study design. Similarly, the research design investigates the environmental risk factors for Ascaris lumbricoides infections and their effect on the health of children. Methodology. So the study will be conducted at Proctin B, Barangay Maniki, Capalong, Davao del Norte. To be able to fulfill the objectives of the study, the following research procedures shall be performed. So the first one is the ethics clearance and instrument validation. So the University of Mindanao, the ethics committee will review the study, and besides, the researcher will provide relevant documents to respected authorities and guarantee the findings' confidentiality. The second one is the approval to conduct the study. The researchers will address a letter to the Office of the Barangay Captain and Office of the Barangay Health Office Center to ask permission to conduct a study at the Poroctin B, Barangay Maniki, Capalong, Davao del Norte. Moreover, the same letter and consent form is sent to the respondent, also their parents, for the approval. The third one is the selection of participants. Convenience sampling is the method to be utilized by researchers to gather research data from the respondents. The fourth one is the data collection. The researcher will send the structured questionnaire and the completed questionnaires will be collected for the data analysis. So that's it. Thank you for listening and good day once again. Have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.